Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and this has been a day that, I'll tell you what, all my superstars are on today. We had Journey's Map earlier. We had Dr. Gary Weitzman. He is the CEO of the Humane Society. And now we got the stellar people from the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum. Krishna Kabra is the CEO, and even more importantly, she brought in her very cool daughter, Shiva, who's going to be joining us as well. And, just talk about the spirit of the Kabra family. They just, we'll jump in. Sure, I have no preparation for this. How you doing, Shiva?
Good. How are you?
Very good. How many podcasts have you done before?
None.
So this is your first one?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think this is really cool.
It is very, very cool, especially when you get to share it with your sibling and your friends and all that business. Krishna, twice in 1 week. Oh my goodness, I'm blessed. I am absolutely blessed. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm better for having seen you twice in a week.
You'd be the only person on the face of the earth to say that, by the way. But that is very, very kind, and I hope your ears have been burning. So we are going to talk a little bit about a STEMposium that's going on, but I took the liberty, and I hope that's okay, Krishna, to invite, as part of our little cabal that's going to get together and change the way worlds are doing, and David Miyashiro from Cajon Valley and Neville Villamoria from Junior Achievement, I'm inviting Peter Kallstrom to join us. Peter is the CEO of the Workforce Partnership, so I'm inviting him to your STEMposium, and he wants to be part of this small group. We'll talk a little bit about that, too. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm speaking in code, which you never do to listeners, and they're going, really, what are you talking about? You just lost me over here. But we're going to kick it off with Ashley, who's got some questions for you, Krishna.
Yeah, so do you want to just talk about the overall mission of your organization?
Yeah, I'd love to. So the San Diego Children's Discovery, our mission is to spark a love of learning so that all children can discover their wildest dreams. We're based up here in Escondido, and we love what we do, and hopefully the kids who visit us all over the county love what we do too.
That's good. So, Shiva, let me ask you this question. Has your mom always been into a whole million things, whether it's marketing brand stuff or it's now a CEO of a pretty cool nonprofit? Does she ever stay still at all?
No, we were actually just talking about this last night. I don't think she could ever not think about other stuff. Like she's always, and she's not still, exactly. She's always, there's something on her mind, or she's always thinking about work, or always thinking about other things that she wants to do with the museum, or
That is cool. How about you? Do you have that same spirit?
I think, in a way. I don't think I can't really. I'm always coming up with new things that I want to do.
Nice. Well, what are you interested in?
Right now I'm in school, so it's a lot of school-related things. Sure. But I do Muay Thai, so I'm really interested in that too. Yeah.
Really? What is that?
It's like it's a form of martial arts. It's boxing, but you use all parts of your body, which is really awesome because you get a full body workout. And
so, is it like, do you like kickboxing? Do you use your feet?
You use your legs and your knees and your elbows. Right. And the gym that I go to, it's a really awesome community.
How long have you been doing this?
About a year, yeah.
Right, exactly. About a year. Okay, now does your mom do this too?
No, she doesn't.
How about your dad?
No, it's me and my brother mainly, yeah.
Very good. So is that sort of a warning to your mom that they don't tread too close over here?
I get, not really. I don't think I can physically. She kind of has power over me. She's my mom. But, yeah.
No, it's very good. No, I'm sure a lot of that is also good just for the mental aspect of it, and getting you to think and all that business. That's terrific. So, listen, Krishna, you've done so many great things. Sometimes you run into people, Ashley, that you think you've known your whole life. And they take a step back and go, wait a minute, I've only known this person for a year and a half or 2 years. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I remember she came on the show and was talking about some cool things she was involved in. And in about 1 second, I said, okay, this is going to be really take off and be on a full warp speed. I think I've only known you for, a year and a half, 2 years? How long's it been?
It doesn't matter, Drew.
It doesn't matter, but to your detriment, you can't get rid of me or Charles and all the great people you've touched on this. So talk about your experience, maybe previously before you came over as a museum CEO. What did you used to do?
Yeah, so I have probably an atypical background for someone in my current position. I come from the world of for-profit consulting. I helped to build 2 British-born consulting firms here in the United States. And the area of focus in terms of what type of consultancy was primarily strategy, a lot of innovation strategy, a lot of brand strategy. And I really had a lot of fun working with some of the biggest brands in the world in multiple different regions. A lot of fun, especially when you work upstream and clients have money to spend. That's when it's really fun.
Right. It's a little bit different sometimes than the nonprofits. But in all seriousness, those skill sets you had, in that world, strategy and brand and so forth, pretty nice connection to what you're doing now with the museum, correct?
I think so. I mean, well, I was relatively new to the nonprofit world, and it was right in the middle of COVID. And so, what any strategist is going to do is try and find the strategy to navigate out of a global, pandemic. And so, one of my first, the first order of business was let's commission a strategic plan, and that way we could at least identify the strengths of the organization, what were some of the challenges, but most importantly, what was the mission upon which we wanted to hang our hat, and what was the various different pathways towards achieving an inspired vision.
And listen, we've been honored to have you meet some of our folks. Steve Klosterman, I'd be remiss if we didn't say his name. Steve is the chair of the San Diego Foundation, fell in love with you and what you're doing in about 2 seconds. You presented her from their board. They were obviously very impressed. And talk about this very, very cool thing you're doing on December the 1st. And full disclosure, Krishna foolishly asked me to be the MC, and I said, of course I'm going to do that with all the brain power. Maybe it's going to rub off on me and my IQ will jump a little bit. But this is a very, very great event. It's going to be a STEMposium. It's going to be up at your place in Escondido, is it not?
Yeah, we're so excited. So this is the first time the museum is hosting a symposium. The series is called For the Love of Learning. And the first in the series will be our STEMposium. The purpose and the sort of thinking behind it was let's bring together a whole bunch of thought leaders in early childhood education and all the different points of connection. So there's foundational fluencies. What are some of the foundational fluencies that children need to learn about? Things like spatial reasoning, sequencing, critical thinking, problem solving. What happens when you then also add into the equation the importance of social emotional learning? And then the third part of that is the importance of play. It is in play that children learn. So the purpose of the day, the symposium, is really to inspire people, right? I would love for people to walk away feeling, gosh, that was really interesting. And I now feel called to share some of the content. I feel called to fund organizations that work in this space, and to really strive for equity. I mean, that's one of the central tenets of the museum is for all children to have access. So, yep, December the 1st at the museum. We're super excited.
It's invitation only, is it not?
No, you can buy your tickets.
I should know this being the MC, so I fail that job immediately. And how do they sign up?
So go to our website, sdcdm/STEMposium, and you can buy the tickets. So it's a drop in the ocean for a nonprofit like us. $75, full day of being inspired. There'll be opportunities for folks to actually play physically, nice. Which will be super fun. And will feed your belly and inspire your minds.
Yeah, the lineup, once you go to the website and take a look at it, they've got some top shelf thought leaders and so forth. It's going to be a great symposium. I'm Drew Schlosberg. Of Cloudcast Media, we're chatting with Krishna Kabra, CEO of the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum, joined by her daughter, Shiva, off on this Veterans Day. We're going to ask some more questions of Shiva. And now it's my pleasure to turn it back over to my co-host, Ashley Hilliard of Girl Scout Troop 6139.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about how you view and how the museum views the importance of supporting early childhood education?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, the future of our workforce starts with the children that we see at the museum, right? There is a direct correlation between, inspiring the curiosity or feeding the curiosity of a 3, 4, 5-year-old and the future that we see in our workforce. And that involves things like giving them the skills that they might need, such as problem solving, creative thinking, interpersonal communication skills. The world is becoming so highly engineered, right? And in the future, a lot of the jobs that we see today will be technology-based. They'll be automated. And so what are some of the human skills that we can also instill in children so that they bring the most beautiful thing they have, which is their humanity, to what they do?
Well, I mean, listen, your museum is all about the A in STEAM, of course. Well, it's all about the S and the T and the E and the M also. I get it. But, the arts and the innovation and so forth. And Shiva, let me ask you this. You are doing some sort of martial arts, I guess, in that aspect. Do you also get involved with the arts? Do you play an instrument? Do you draw? Do you dance?
I would like to think I'm more athletic inclined than artistically inclined.
Okay.
But, I think I've been okay at the art since I was a little kid. I feel like my mom has told me that I've liked to paint and draw since I was a little kid.
Are you on any sports teams at your school?
No, I don't. I mainly just do Muay Thai because my sports teams are full commitments.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very, very good. What is your favorite subject? What do you like to study?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm really into English. I really want to write a book one day. I think that'd be super cool.
Fantastic. So a nonfiction, historical novel, fiction?
Nonfiction. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, really? What would you, in what area? Any area specifically?
That's a really good question. I'm not completely sure yet. I'm still working on it.
Have you thought about college?
A little bit, yeah. As a sophomore, I think our school is kind of inclining us to start thinking about college more.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, which is...
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
And it'll change 85 times, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. Is your brother older or younger than you?
He's younger than me.
Okay, and what grade is he in?
He is a 8th grader.
Okay, so he's not at your school yet, right? Right, but next year he will be, right?
Yeah, we're...
Maybe?
Maybe. Not sure yet.
Right. How about him? Is he athletic like you?
I think, on the other hand, I think he's definitely more artistically. He loves to play the drums.
Nice.
And I think he does like sports. I think our family likes to push that on him a little bit more. But yeah, he loves to play the drums. He is talented in that.
Now, does he do it like at 2 a.m, so your mom is up at all? Or
it gets annoying sometimes, that's for sure. But not usually. Sometimes it's
very, very, very cool. We're again chatting with Shiva Kabra. She's a sophomore at Pacifica Ridge. Is it a high school? It is high school, right? Yeah, exactly. Joined by her mom, Krishna Kabra, CEO of the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum. I'm joined by my co-host, Ashley Hilliard, Girl Scout Troop 6139. She doesn't know it yet, but she'll be asked many times to be my co-host when she's available to do this and so forth. Krishna, I think one of the great things that you folks do, we do many great things at the museum, but I think what surprises people that while you're housed in Escondido, you're all over the place.
We really are, and we love that. So we have a mobile museum. We have a growing fleet of mobile vans that travel all over the county. We go as far south as the border, San Ysidro, as far north as Bonsall. And what that allows us to do is something that I talked about earlier, is provide that access that all children need, right? We are very much focused on racially marginalized and economically disadvantaged communities. And a lot of the children don't have access to early childhood STEM education. and building those fluencies and giving them an opportunity to learn through hands-on learning experiences is so critical. So we love that we can get to all four corners of the county.
Yeah, without question. When we come back from break, we're going to ask Ashley about her experience at the museum and doing those arts things, and she's got some things to say as well. And then, as you know, Krishna, you've been on the show quite a bit, that we always save some time in the second part of the show to, well, what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Obviously, go to the STEMposium is number one, but if they want to contribute and buy another mobile unit, you're not going to turn that down, I imagine.
Absolutely.
And so forth. And in Shiva, you can think about some questions we'd like our listeners to do on some things that you're interested in. When we return to Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing great things to San Diego for more than 60 years. We'll be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing great things to San Diego. For more than 60 years, joined by Krishna Kabra, CEO of the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum. Honored to have her daughter sharing the mic with her as a sophomore in Pacific Ridge High School, and actually doing a spectacular job as my guest co-host, Ashley Hilliard, Girl Scout Troop 6139. You got some experience at the museum?
Yeah, so I believe a couple of years ago before the pandemic, twice Girl Scouts hosted their World Thinking Day event at the museum. And World Thinking Day is basically a day where all the Girl Scouts go and we gather and we learn about different cultures and different communities around the world. And so I believe one of the times we had a lot of the older girls had different booths set up at the museum, and all the girls were going around and learning different things about all the different communities each girl represented, and it was a really fun experience. And then after that, we got to go play in the museum, which was really fun.
So what did you learn about that day that you didn't know before? Was there a certain part of the world that I didn't know they were doing these things in India or Timbuktu or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I can't honestly remember a specific one because it was so long ago. But I know for a fact that pretty much every place that I went to, there was some kind of new surprising fact that I learned.
Yeah, and that is so cool. Krishna, I know you've traveled a lot, of course, and have a lot of experience, and I think your kids do too. But heaven forbid we actually unite the world. What a shock, right? Mm-hmm. And we bring in that empathy gene that we need to sit there and boost up to the 15th billionth factor and all that. What a great experience for the kids.
It's wonderful. I mean, when you think about the opportunity that we have at the Children's Museum, STEM is kind of our focus, but, the children that we see do not delineate between the S, the T, the E, and the M, right? It's all integrated. Art, which you talked about earlier, Drew, that's like a central modality that we use to teach any kind of foundational fluency. And the arts in terms of kids use their bodies to learn. I mean, that's the most beautiful thing, is that learning is not exclusively cognitive as it is as you get older. It's embodiment of learning. They use their bodies, their hands, their feat to learn, and we have the pleasure and the honor of doing that every day. We love it.
Well, as you've heard me say before, and then I'll be on my soapbox forever on this, especially when I have groups like the VAPA Foundation. They were just on the show last week. I think you can teach every single subject area under the sun with visual and performing arts because it ties into math, science, technology, physics, sports, everything, even the extracurricular work that you're doing, Shiva, as well. And, but more importantly, heaven forbid it opens your eyes to other cultures. That sounds so obvious, but we don't do a good job with that. Or put it this way, we could do a better job with this. And the second you walk in your museum, you're just enveloped with this. And talk about how important that is.
Yeah, it is really important. So, fun fact, Drew, you probably don't know about me, is I grew up a dancer. So I was a classical Indian dancer for over 20 years. I started learning at 5.
No surprise, no surprise.
And I gave it up. Actually, in my early college years, and my parents used to send me off to India to train with my guru back then. So, the beautiful thing about the arts is that it's not just the arts, right? You're learning about music, you're learning about rhythm, you're learning about expression. And at the Children's Museum, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's one of the things that we get to celebrate with the kids. Where we're leaning towards now is celebration of Indigenous culture, which we feel children really need to know about, really ought to learn about. And within that is the storytelling aspect of, one of the leading members of the Kumeyaay Nation, Stan Rodriguez, is on our board. And every time we see Stan, he has a wonderful story to share or a song to sing, and all the different Indigenous pieces of the culture, which is, again, all integrated, that we're trying to bring to the museum in an educational and fun way.
And I just have to do this because he's a good friend of ours at Cloudcast Media. He's going to be speaking at your STEMposium. He's just a very cool cat. And that's Luis Rankins Ibarra, superintendent of the Escondido Union Elementary School District. And Luis was at, we're pretty proud of this too. And thank you, Krishna, for you and your senior team coming to this. We did a soup tank event, and it focused on superintendents doing like a Shark Tank deal. They gave a 3-minute talk. We had 9 of them doing it. Not bad when there's only 43 superintendents, and we had about 6 in the audience. Krishna was able to to come there, but Luis was one of the people presenting, and Luis got a nice grant from Mackenzie Scott, the former wife of Jeff Bezos, $16 million. And, what I love about what she's been doing, it's unencumbered. It is pretty much do whatever you'd like. And, and I know you work closely with Luis, do you not?
Oh, Luis he's amazing. I mean, talk about an inspired leader in education. I mean, that's one of the reasons when we were planning the STEMposium, he was top of my list in terms of speakers, right? Our relationship with Escondido Unified is the gold standard school district partnership that we have. We serve almost all their elementary age kids. And what I love about Luis is that, and I've explored this with him over many meals, is he has the most inspired vision of education and what it should be. And I said to him, Luis, when you come to the STEMposium, I would love for you to share the perspective that you cannot share perhaps in other forums. So what would you love early childhood education to look like? Let's talk about that. Bring your visionary perspective.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to mention this, and you and I were talking about it earlier this week. That's the whole idea of this STEMposium. It's out of the box. It's things you may not say in your regular business for whatever reason, okay? You're unhinged, you're unlocked, you can do whatever you want. And that's the type of folks we want in the audience, as well as the ones that are going to be speaking again. So how do they get tickets?
sdcdm.org/STEMposium. That is the easiest way. You can register online. We only have 100 tickets, and the seats are filling up fast. And we're going to be doing it every year, but please come and come prepared to be inspired and play.
Yeah, without question. We're chatting with Krishna Kabra, CEO of the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum, joined by her daughter, Shiva, sophomore at Pacific Ridge High School. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, joined by my co-host, Ashley Hilliard, Girl Scout Troop 6139. Got another question for Krishna?
Yeah, I do actually. So do you want to describe a little bit about your organization's community outreach efforts?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, we love community outreach. One of the things we pride ourselves on are partnerships, right? And I'm relatively new still, I think, in the nonprofit world, but one of the very clear epiphanies I had early on in my time at the museum is that no one organization can do it alone, right? We have to work in partnership. And that's where I think when most nonprofits really start shining is when they collaborate. Actually, we at the STEMposium, we have a whole panel discussion on the power of partnerships and the case for collaboration. But we have partnerships with all kinds of school districts. Escondido, like I mentioned, is one of them. Oceanside, Carlsbad, Marcos, Vista, Julian, a whole bunch. And then we also work very closely with the Y, with MAC Head Start programs, EES. The list goes on. And of course, the Girl Scouts, which we love.
Well, I think, let me ask you this. Do you have any youth on the panel? Is any youth speaking at your symposium?
We do not have youth, but we do have a couple of surprises. So we have some video footage. You're going to love this. This is let me just put it this way. I spent 90 minutes the other day watching the raw footage of a 3.5-year-old kid with a GoPro on his body. And he basically made it through every single part of the museum.
Wow.
And so we'll be seeing the highlights of our little friend Bobo and his adventures around the museum wearing a GoPro.
Oh, my. Well, I'm going to look forward to that. We're at the end of our program here. Shiva, any comments you want to say? Did you enjoy your experience?
This is such a cool opportunity to be on a podcast. I've never done it, so I think it's really awesome.
Well, you did a great job, and you got some, you got a future in doing that, and you're very poised, and thank you for coming up. I know it's always a shock when, what do you mean? I just wanted to sit there and hear my mom speak, and they're making me, did a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
And I hope you'll come back and share some more of what you're doing in school.
I will. Thank
Absolutely. Krishna, any final comments?
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Drew. I feel like the next time I'm on, we should break bread together and just continue talking.
I can't wait to do that. Again, I always get smarter when I'm around Krishna on that. Again, maybe you can shout out the website where people can get tickets to.
Absolutely. So sdcdm.org/symposium. Please come. It's in support of our wonderful organization and all the partners that we have that support us.
Great. Ashley, any comments?
Not really. It was wonderful having you. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, she's a regular on the show, and it's always something new, and it's always great content, and the beneficiary is our listeners, and of course, those who come through the museum. So again, Krishna, wishing you nothing but great success with the Symposium, and you, Shiva, as you enjoy the holiday season and finish up your sophomore year. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you've been listening to another Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing great things to San Diego for more than 60 years.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.